welcome. I'm Tom Loucks, Communications Director at the City of Marshfield. And today I have a guest that's going to talk about Grow Solar. And I have Tayler Ball with me, and she's going to explain a lot about what's going on. So thanks for joining me, Tayler.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, the group you're with, and then we'll go into more topics about solar energy, what's coming up here in the month of June and probably throughout the year.
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Tayler Ball. I am the program manager for the Midwest Renewable Energy Association, or the MREA. We are a nonprofit located in central Wisconsin, and we've been promoting energy efficiency, sustainable living since the 1990s. And we're really excited to bring back Grow Solar Central Wisconsin for its 6th year, and it's going to be open to 6 counties. It will be Lincoln, Marathon, Portage, Waushara, Waupaca, and Wood County. So we're excited to bring this to the residents of Marshfield.
All right. Now, there's a way for the residents here to participate. And there's a few steps that they can do this. And if people want to refer, they can go to your website, growsolar.org, right?
Mm-hmm,
I'm reading that right now. Tell me a little bit of, if they want to participate, what needs to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are a Central Wisconsin resident, you can go to www.cw.growsolar.org to get to the Central Wisconsin program. And we will be offering educational presentations called Solar Power Hours. They're 1-hour presentations that we'll be hosting in person as well as virtually throughout the summer. And that will give you Solar 101, its financial implications, what to expect to have solar on your site, whether you're a property owner of a small business, a farm, or it's just for your home. We'll be hosting those, and that schedule will be posted on that website I shared earlier. We will also be hosting 2 solar power hours at our annual energy fair, which we'll be hosting not this weekend, but the following weekend, June 24th through the 26th. And we're happy to bring that show back to the good old Central Wisconsin folks.
Now, that show that you're talking about, was there like a delay in it with COVID, or is it coming back, or has it been back?
So we did postpone it and then delay it due to COVID. So we're really excited to bring back the Energy Fair. So the Energy Fair is essentially like a festival / networking opportunity for folks for the weekend. It's for folks who are just interested in sustainable living, as well as all the way up to industry folks who are trying to get continuing education credits.
Okay. Well, for our viewers out there, you mentioned it is on the 24th of June. It starts on a Friday. Mm-hmm. This is located near Stevens Point. And is there a cost? I don't want to get too much into cost because it's something we don't do, but I'm just kind of curious if there's a cost. Where do they go, and maybe what are they going to see?
Yeah, absolutely. So to get more information about the Energy Fair, you can go visit www.theenergyfair.org. There are tickets available. We do have an option to join as a member, and that's actually a wee bit cheaper to join as a member and to get into the Energy Fair as a member versus paying a ticket this year. But you also could volunteer. If you volunteer 2 hours, you get into the fair for free for a day, and if you volunteer 12 hours, you get more perks. So there are some different ways to get involved, and you can join us and see live music. You can see keynotes. We'll have various number of workshops about anything from sustainable living to professional energy courses. And yeah, there's a little bit for everyone. We even have a kids area called Rainbow's End. There will be singing frogs and golly, lots of things.
All right. You're going to be out at the event?
I will. You'll find me in the beverage tent all weekend long.
Okay, great. Let's talk about solar. Let's get right into the roots of what solar and what you're talking about. There's so many different pieces when you're talking about solar. There's solar cars, there's solar on your roof, there's solar to do your hot water heater, your heat, your lights, you name it. Tell me a little bit about what solar energy is and the importance of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So solar, I am of course biased, but it's a very exciting thing because, at least personally how I think of it is it's one of those few things that allows you to take control of something. So by getting solar on your home, for example, you now have energy independence, which is just one of those things that is just so valuable. And right now, when you don't have solar on your property, for example, you're essentially just renting out your electricity, and you're not building any equity. And by going solar, it allows you to take that back, and depending on your utility, you might be able to make money on it, known by policy called net metering. But please note that each utility provider has different rules, so you'd want to look at your utility provider to see what exactly do they offer when it comes to their net metering policies.
Okay, so a lot of times people may have solar panels. You've seen them time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if they store the energy, or is it used up right away? How does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of people, when they think of solar, they think of, I'm off the grid, I have batteries, I'm not connected to the utility. But most of the time it's actually it's cheaper and more effective to be connected to the grid and have that grid connectivity, because depending on your utility, you have that net metering that you can now take advantage of. And if you don't have enough solar energy to provide for all your needs, you can take advantage of the utility. So yes, that's how I'd answer that.
So let's talk a little bit about what you guys are here to help bring solar energy to people's homes, maybe businesses, nonprofits, like you say. You're here to help with money, or help with organization to make it happen. They call you for what needs to get into the solar field.
Yes. So we believe education is the first step, and that's how you can make decisions, right? Like, education is power, and what our program helps folks do is that we provide that education. We facilitate this program. We work with a local advisory committee who chooses a quality installer for the program. So if you go through our program, that you're not going to have any, shady situations, because unfortunately that does happen to some good folks when it comes to this. But we kind of guide you through that process. We give you, what's going to be the first step. What are things you want to consider? Some folks can't go solar because they need a new roof right now. But now that they've gone through the solar power hour, they can actually plan for that. They might not go through our program this year, but maybe 5 years down the road, they actually can make those steps to go solar, which that's when we call our program a success.
Let's talk about the kinds of solar energy you're talking about. Can it be on a super small scale?
Absolutely.
What would that be? What's a thing like a start off way of getting involved?
Yeah, so I would say a smaller system would probably be like a 3 kilowatt system. The average is about 6.67-ish for the average home, but it's so dependent on the site, right? So is this your home or is it a business? What are your energy usage? What's your energy usage, excuse me? Do you have any energy efficiency, habits, or can you do things to help make your home or business more energy efficient? Because the less energy you use, is, the cheapest kilowatt you can, Yes.
So you talk about kilowatts. Some people may not understand what a kilowatt is, but that's generally what's measured in electricity and the meter that goes around and around and around on your home, right?
Yes.
So let's say, maybe you can tell me, maybe you can't, a light bulb, a general incandescent light bulb. Do we know what that kind of takes to run approximately?
I don't know the number off the top of my head,
Okay.
but I do know that an incandescent light bulb is definitely more than an LED light bulb.
True. Okay. All right. But it's a way to be efficient, a way to be more sustainable, a way to have clean energy. Do you guys look at that, the clean energy, being able to use that instead of oil products? Is that part of the initiative, is to make sure that we're not burning up carbon emissions, that kind of stuff, I believe is what you call it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it goes side and side. You know, the education helps people make these more informed decisions, as well as, like I said earlier, you can gain that energy and independence by not having to rely on outside resources like that.
Okay, well, I'm scrolling here through because I want to know a little bit more. The big event that you're talking about, again, is coming up in Custer, small little, I don't know if you call it a town or what, it's just off Highway 10, right?
Absolutely. It's pretty much in Stevens Point.
Yeah, pretty much. And well, there's a little Irish bar there that used to be there, but they're not open anymore. He's not there.
Yeah.
I know who he is, though. He's in Michigan now again. So I used to live in that area, and we were attended that place quite often, myself and a friend. But thought I'd bring that up. Why not have a little chit chat? But I'm looking at, there's energy fairs all around the area, around the United States. There's a Midwest Solar Expo coming up in Minneapolis. That's next week. Something just to mention here. Let's go back to your name, MREA, Midwest Renewable Energy Association. That covers the counties that you mentioned, is that right?
Well, we work throughout the Midwest. This specific program, Grow Solar Central Wisconsin, is for those 6 counties. Grow Solar has their own programs throughout the Midwest. We're doing one in Chicagoland. We're doing one in Solar Urbana. We're doing one in Polk County, Iowa. Since 2013, we've done 50 programs over the Midwest that are Grow Solar programs.
Do you have any large programs that you could share on this program with us around near us that may have used you that you'd be able to tell us about?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking Grow Solar specifically, we did a program in Milwaukee last summer, and that was one of our largest Milwaukee programs since 2013. We are doing this year for another Wisconsin program. We're doing Grow Solar, Jefferson, and Waukesha counties. So if you live in those counties, you're able to participate. We're doing a Habitat for Humanity program. That one's a little bit different, so it's not necessarily open to the public, but we're trying to expand and work all over the Midwest to provide this opportunity to folks. And we're very fortunate to have the partners that we have to make those programs available.
You mentioned partners. Who can partner with you? Individuals, local businesses, cities, municipalities, villages?
Yeah.
And they can help partner financially or just support in general by getting the word out, right?
Yeah, essentially the second part. We don't necessarily have a lot of, like for Grow Solar anyways, a lot of financial partners. You know, as an individual, you can volunteer and help us spread the word about the opportunity in your community. As a municipality or a local organization, you can help us spread the word through your networks about this opportunity. Because when we do a Grow Solar program, it does have a deadline, because that does help increase participation. You know, we've all been kind of procrastinators at some point in our lives, so that kind of helps, get people a little bit faster in the gear. And so just helping us spread the word is really the biggest ask that we ask of our partners.
Okay. I was looking this solar in schools or working with students. Do you guys get a chance to do things within any of our central Wisconsin schools about solar energy?
Yeah, we actually have a person dedicated to solar on schools. They work pretty closely with the Coolard Solar Foundation out of Deerfield, Wisconsin. And she just started her position, and she'll be working with us with our Grow Solar programs as well as individually to help provide technical assistance for schools, give them that education on how to get started, what to expect if they're to add solar to their school, and kind of some steps to help make that process happen.
Okay. I follow the Wood County Board, although we're in Wood County, and I believe they started some kind of a solar initiative over on Lake Nepco. I don't know if you're aware of any. I was just curious if you were. I think that was something that was discussed a while back. I know by working in Wisconsin Rapids, the library, McMillan Memorial Library, anything to do with that? That's a pretty pretty neat program that they have for solar energy that you can actually see or watch how much energy they have or used.
Yeah, so they have been a partner in the past
Nice.
of Grow Solar Central Wisconsin. That was a little bit before my time, so I don't know what their level of involvement was. But the other thing that you had mentioned, that one is new to me, so I am not sure or familiar with that. But
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
definitely do some homework.
we'll have to look that up because I think it's a pretty big one that I thought it had to do with solar panels on the lake. I don't think it was wind power, but don't quote me. Can't remember all of them, but solar energy's been around how long? Can you has it been for a long time?
Gosh, NASA was using it, for satellites forever ago, and we're still learning more and more about it, better ways to use it. Some of the solar arrays that they installed when we first started kind of doing this in the 1990s are starting kind of to get to the end of the life, but we quote that they can live, or their lifespan, is about 25 years, but there are some arrays that are working well past that right now and still creating and producing energy for their homes or their properties.
Yeah. The people here in Marshfield, actually, my neighbor back in Minnesota is the owner of some of the businesses here. I can't think of, Mississippi Welders. He's actually my neighbor. It's kind of odd. And he's had solar in his backyard, if I remember, since the early 80s or 70s. It's still working. And I think it's hot water heat. But I just brought that up because I'm from Minnesota, Winona area. And one of his businesses are here, so pretty neat. Pretty neat that solar is still a really important product. Have you ever had a chance to see a solar car work?
Yeah, so you could come and visit the Energy Fair. We'll have a clean transportation show, and golly, I can't remember how many, but I know there's more than 5, maybe less than 10 that will be there. But there's some wild things you can do with PV and cars, besides just electric vehicles and the advancements they've been making recently.
All right, well, if you're just joining us here today, I'm talking with Tayler Ball, and there's an event that's happening towards the end of the month, so if you're watching this and it's over already, well, we have a lot of more information that we brought up before and even yet a little bit more about what solar's about. So keep watching, but I'm going to go back to the actual event because that's a pretty neat event.
Yeah.
And it's over 2 days, you said, or 3 days?
3 days.
3 days.
Friday to Sunday.
And you get a chance to be there yourself. But, there's... Can you give me a few of the exhibits that might be there? You were mentioning there'll be a place maybe that you can plug in your solar car, or not solar car, I should say electric car. But it's all part of that renewable energy style, right? Kind of, is that what you call it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can definitely come and plug your EV if you have one with us. We have an array right outside of our campus site. And I would recommend, though, to go online to theenergyfair.org to sign up to reserve your spot, because it is kind of a hot commodity to charge with us. But we'll get additional chargers for the weekend. Yeah, there's a lot. You can meet some good folks who helped founded the MREA from 1990, and we're very fortunate to have a lot of volunteers support the fair. It's a great time, but again, biased.
No, that's all right. Do you have any solar personally? I'm just curious. Do you do any of that yet? Or?
One day I will.
Okay.
I'm still working on it.
Sure. Now, I know my dad does it quite a bit. Has these solar panels that I'm looking at right now and uses it up at his garden. That has no power up there. And it's a way, think about that. If you have no power, but you need some sort of light, there you go, or a maintainer on a battery. That actually works really good for solar power. You put be able to charge your batteries if you want to maintain your batteries from like a camper, a boat. I do cabin, you name it. What a way to not use energy from the grid. Why don't you use the sunlight out there?
Absolutely.
Does this stuff work when it's cloudy or storm? How does that work?
Yeah, no, that's such a great question. So, a lot of folks think like Wisconsin's too cloudy, too cold for solar to be, financially viable. However, the country of Germany has significantly less sunlight than we do, and they're one of the leaders in solar right now. So if they can do it, us folks in Wisconsin can definitely find some benefits getting solar.
Definitely. Now, do you have a place that you work out of that someone can, or do they just call you? Is there an actual physical location someone can go and talk with you or talk with any of your colleagues?
Yeah, great question. So actually where we host the Energy Fair is our headquarters, and that's based out of Custer, Wisconsin. So you can just visit us at our headquarters anytime you want.
Okay, I didn't know that. So that's kind of, which side of the highway is it if you're heading to Appleton? Is it on the right? It's probably on the right side because that's where...
Left side.
The left side, okay. Because I do remember that's you have to actually turn and go, that's where it's held, is up on that, up in that area. Rain or shine that day?
It's happening.
It's happening. Okay. And you said you get tickets before or not?
So tickets will officially close on the 19th, I believe at midnight. However, you're welcome to come to the fair and get your tickets right at the gate. But if you want to skip the lines, I would suggest beforehand.
Okay. Do you see people from all around our area coming and beyond to see something like this? You're advertising out there to get more?
Yeah, we are very fortunate to get all walks of life from all walks of everywhere at the Energy Fair. Some nationally, some internationally, but we do get a majority of our folks right in our backyard, right in Wisconsin.
All right. Well, the main thing for you guys here, not just the fair, is you're here to help guide, teach, provide information, get you in the right direction if you want to go buy solar or something. You don't have to go out and try to do this all on your own, right? You said you could just, if a resident here is looking to get involved in solar, they can turn and look towards you guys for help?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have on the MidwestRenew.org website, we have community resources. So we have like a glossary, like what does PV mean, right? Because unfortunately, sometimes when you're in an industry, just jargon is being used, and we kind of break some of that jargon down for folks so it's understandable. We have like a checklist on who would you want to choose for your solar installer if you wanted to go solar. And of course, you're always welcome to email us or call us, and we can provide you some guidance as well.
All right. Anything else that you want to talk about on solar that I'm not aware of or missed that you would like our public to know more about and what you do and what it is, what it's about?
Well, oh golly, there's so many things I could tell you about solar, but I'll keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, please do.
And just say, I hope you have a chance to take advantage of Grow Solar Central Wisconsin and the education opportunity that is there. It really does give you that opportunity to learn about how you can gain your energy independence, take advantage of our local annual energy fair. We're excited to bring it back, but every year we're going to keep making it bigger and better. And you can network there, you can meet just really great humans there, and just have a good time at the same time, It's one of those little gems in central Wisconsin.
All right. Well, I just found your profile here, Tayler.
Oh, no.
I was looking for it here while we were going through. So you had a chance to work with Americorps as a volunteer, I see.
Yeah.
Did that help you get involved in this?
Absolutely.
I thought so. Tell me a little bit about the importance of Americorps. That's always a good program.
It's such a great program. So for those who are not familiar with Americorps, it's typically a year term. Sometimes you can do a half-year term, but at the MREA we do full year terms. And we have an Americorps member for the Energy Fair, and we have an Americorps member for Grow Solar. And we're also hiring for those positions in case you're interested. However, they give you a living stipend and an education reward after you've completed your year term, and they give you a lot of great resources. You can get health insurance during your term, but just a really great program that helps support not only nonprofits, but schools and like places like CAP Services.
Okay, so that's how you got your start, and they offered you a job here. That worked out really well. Yeah. Although you have a bachelor's degree of science, you have a minor in environmental studies. So right there is, you're using your minor, but you're probably using your business administration skills, and you have a certificate in Chinese. Does that mean you speak in Chinese?
Ni hao.
Wow.
Though my Chinese is not as great as it used to be, but I do still value that.
That's pretty awesome. So, yeah, so this really works to the advantage of what you like to do, and are learning more and more, and encourage volunteers, because Americorps is built on volunteers.
Absolutely, yes.
Before we end, volunteering. People want to get involved that maybe you're watching, is not from Marshfield, but maybe more over in that area. What can they do to what kind of volunteer opportunities are there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are so fortunate by having, like, on average, like 300 volunteers who support the Energy Fair, and they help, in our cafe, our bar. They help clean up the grounds, all that stuff. But we also have just general volunteer opportunities throughout the year, whether you come out to our site and help us prepare the grounds, because there's a lot of grounds to maintain, or you help us virtually and you just help us spread the word about our programs that we're having, just to help us get the word out there, get the education out there.
All right, so PR is essential to make this keep happening, and you're looking for that help as much as you can. So please, everybody you want is to pass that word. Is that right?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what we're doing here today. I've invited you to bring that information out to our local residents, beyond our local residents, because we're online. We're not just on television like we used to be umpteen years ago, but we are now putting on Apple TV. If you have one of those, you can get us. You have Amazon Fire Stick, you can watch us there. If you have Roku, you can watch us there, or cable television, or online. Pretty much there's no way you can miss us to watch this program, share this program. For MREA, and Tayler, you drove up here from the Stevens Point area, probably through the storms here today. It's Wednesday, June 15th, and it was probably raining. I did hear the emergency alert just a few minutes ago. I think it was coming through our phones. So hopefully nothing too bad hits. Hopefully you have good weather coming up in a little more than a week and a half. Really, end of the month? Wow.
Absolutely. It's crazy.
It's crazy. But this is back again, a very popular event. If you're watching this in the past, well, there's still a lot of information that you can get throughout the year. Go to the website. Do you have a phone number you want to share it all off your head that you want to do? If not, that's fine here. I'm kind of putting you right on the spot. I like to do that, but that's okay. You can just go again, just give the website one more time. I know a lot of people do use the web.
Yes. So the website, our main website is www.midwestrenew.org. And then if you are interested in Grow Solar, that's www.growsolar.org. And if you're interested in the Energy Fair, that's www.theenergyfair.org.
Well, there we go. Well, thank you so much for coming today, spending a few minutes telling me about what you guys do. I'll also put a plug in if you want to see Tayler's presentation. That was done at our Common Council meeting, City of Marshfield, back in March. I just actually watched it, so it's available yet there to watch. It's about 12 minutes, I think, or so. You can watch Tayler's PowerPoint presentation. And check that out. That's a Common Council meeting. I'm not sure if it's the first I think it was the first meeting of the month, but I'm not positive. I think it was around March 8th, but good chance if you want to know a little bit more, maybe a little differently than we covered here today, that might give you some more information as well. So thanks so much for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All righty. Well, I want to thank everybody else for watching us here today on our program here at the Public Access Studios, Marshfield Broadcasting. I'm the Communications Director for the city and also operate the division of this broadcasting in our studios. So hope you enjoyed the program. Thanks for watching.